Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Lovington Girls Basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan along with TJ Miracle, and it's time for Lovington Girls at Texico. We just watched a thrilling end to the girls' JV game, and the Lovington JV girls won 36-35 in overtime. So will this game be as thrilling? Will it go into overtime? Will the Lovington girls win their first district game? Well, their first game in a while. Not district, but not district. This is non-district. Of course, Lovington is 4A and Texico is 2A. But I'm looking at their district record right now, but I'm also looking at their overall record, 5-17, and they are on a bit of a drought. Those 5 victories coming much earlier in the season. So tonight it is a makeup game. This game actually, the girls' game and boys' game, originally scheduled for January 14th. And because of COVID issues with Texico, the games were postponed until tonight. I noticed that there looks like to be a full roster for us and, of course, for them. So hopefully tonight is going to be a good tune-up for the Lovington girls, who will get back to district action after tonight against Artesia in Lovington. And that will be, of course, a district game this Friday night. The Lovington girls are coming off of a 62-28 loss to Portales. But they, of course, are looking to try to work on some things, sharpen up their game, and take a little confidence into that tilt against Artesia at Wildcat Gym on Friday night. Texico girls, the Lady Wolverines, come into this one 6-12. They are also 0-3 in district. Again, a non-district game tonight. They are ranked 4th in District 6-2A, and the Lovington girls are ranked 4th in District 4-4A. They are 5-17 in overall and 0-3 in district. So we come into this one tonight because that JV game went really long, went into overtime. Of course, they played a full overtime. They did not put as much warm-up time on the clock for this game. We have about 7 minutes or so on the warm-up clock. Let's run down the rosters completely. For Texico, your Lady Wolverines, number 1 is Ruby Enriquez. Number 2 is Jackie Posada. Number 3, Caitlin Brashears. Number 5, Cassidy Hockma. Number 10, Maya Holman. Number 15, Desiree Holman. Number 21, Kaya New. And that may be Kaya, but we'll probably say Kaya New. 22 is Cadence Smith. Number 23, Sonia Ortiz. Number 24, Madison Tidenberg. Number 25, Emma Wallen. Number 31, Adalyn Autry. And number 44, Faith Bryant. For your Lady Wildcats, number 3 is Kira Olivas. Number 4 is Audrey Alexander. Number 5, Celeste Dominguez. Number 10, Jasmine Cooper. Number 12, Chloe Corral. Number 14, Ashlyn Barunda. Number 20 is Elizabeth Buendia. Number 23, Myra Castro. Number 30, Erlyn Salcido. Number 32, Mia Contreras. Number 33, Malaya Castro. Number 42, Katie Bell. Number 44, Jaylyn Aranda. And number 50, Jasmine Clark. Your Lady Cats are under head coach Wade Scott, and the Texico Lady Wolverines are under head coach Jalen Cook. So as we get this one underway here in about 6 minutes, looking at the roster, and we did not have stats listed for Texico, but I do think it's interesting when you look at the Lovington girls. You definitely see the top scorer for Lovington right now, averaging 9.1 points per game, is Malaya Castro. Your top rebounder is Celeste Dominguez with 4.7 rebounds per game. She also leads in blocks. And then your top assists from Myra Castro. Myra also is known to pop a tray or two in the game. And coming off of a strong game by Ashlyn Barunda against Portales. And I was not there for that game. TJ, you were on the road to call both the girls and boys that night, and you said really it was a good night for Ashlyn to really come to the forefront and start really putting some points on the board for Lovington.
Well, it certainly was. Finished up with 11 points on the night, 8 of those coming in that fourth quarter, and really kind of provided a spark in that fourth quarter for the Lovington Lady Cats. She played sparingly in the first half, had 3 points in the first half on a tray, but then just basically took over and said, hey, you know what, we're still here to play, and put up 8 in the fourth quarter. Kira Olivas also putting up 4 in that fourth quarter. They won that quarter, but they had a very slow middle part of the game. Matter of fact, they didn't score in the second or third quarters at all of that game. And so, became kind of a lopsided battle. At the end of the first quarter, it was 19-12 in that game. At one point, it was 15-12. So the Lovington girls came out, played very well in the first, and then
woke up in the fourth.
Then they kind of fell apart, and then they woke up and played very well in the fourth.
But too little, too late by that time. So they're going to have to come out and maybe put 4 quarters of basketball together. And if they do that, if they play like they're capable of, and now they have shown again in spurts in games against opponents, they could finish, strong, and they could beat this Texico team. So I know that the Lady Cats are looking for a win tonight. Texaco is going to look to stand in their way. And after tonight, coming into tonight, Texaco lost to Melrose. They're coming off of a loss, a fairly close game, 36-30. And after tonight, they're going to be on the road to play at Santa Rosa this Thursday. And so Texaco looking again to sharpen their game. I mean, it's all about district for these teams, and a non-district game like this can just kind of help shake some things out, give them a chance to try some things, give them a chance to work on some aspects of the game in a game that's not so crucial of an outcome. However, I think for the Lady Cats, they really would like to try to end their drought and in terms of wins and go ahead and put a W in the column, and I think that would go a long way toward just how they approach that game against Artesia on Friday at home.
Well, I would think you are absolutely right on that one. If you build confidence, you build momentum. Let's be honest, this Lady Cats team is probably not going to make the playoffs unless they go through an absolute run through the rest of the district season. And I will double check this with the athletic director, Robert Areola. But we're not sure if we're having a district tournament because that was kind of set aside, the traditional district tournament week, for COVID makeup games, right, should any be needed. But anything that you can do to build the program, we've talked about it all year. This Lovington girls team is a very young team, but they have the ability, when they play to the best of their ability, they can play spoiler, if nothing else, to one of the other teams in this district. And while after the regular season, you want your district mates to do well, you kind of want to be able to go, yeah, you're not in the playoffs because of me, or right, you're having to go play somebody like Gallup because of me.
Right. Yeah, Lovington has only 3 seniors on their team. They are Celeste Dominguez, Jasmine Cooper, and Jasmine Clark. So this is definitely a building year, and even though they're really going to miss Celeste Dominguez because she has been, a big part of this team and doing a lot of right things and performing well and executing well. Celeste has been one of the bright spots of the Lovington team this season and last. But having said that, when you only, lose a key player, one starter, then that means that everything that you have done during the season builds toward, a better team next season. So that's also what they're doing here, is they're building, and this is giving them that chance to do this. We'll take a break and come back. The girls are getting ready for the team announcements, and we will see if we have any break for a national anthem or not. Since we're running behind, we're not sure. If they did that earlier, they may let that stand. But we'll take a break and come back and get this one tipped off here. It's Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Texico High School as it's Lovington versus Texico. It's time for Lady Wildcat basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan along with TJ Miracle, and we're just about ready to get this one tipped off. And girls are taking their spots on the court. Your starters for Texico are Posada, Brashears, Hakma, New, and Wallen. Your starters for Lovington, Olivas, Dominguez, Buendia, Castro, Myra Castro, and Malaya Castro. And it's going to be Wallen versus Dominguez for the tip. And it goes to the Lady Wolverines. Texico with the ball. Posada's got it. Leaves it off for Brashears. Brashears passes over to New on the right side. And coming out, good hustle by Olivas, leaping over and blocking a ball that was meant for Brashears on the left wing. It goes out of bounds, stays Texico ball. They inbound, get it to Brashears on the right wing. She dribbles in, trying to find room, gets it to New. Getting worked on by Myra Castro. Ball's loose on the court. First turnover for Texico. Dominguez has it, brings it down, pulls up, then drives back into the lane, puts up a shot. It won't fall, so a miss by Dominguez and a rebound by New. She goes coast to coast and lays it up from the right side, so Texico on the board 2-0. Lovington with the ball. Myra Castro is going to travel and turn it over because she ran right into a wall. 21-25. That's New and Wallen were in her way, but she turned and walked right into them. So first turnover for Lovington. Texico's got it. They inbound midcourt. That is New on the right side to Hakma. Hakma's got it back. Hakma looking to pass in the lane, drives to the left. Passes to the right, passes back to the left. New looking for room. Passes it off to Brashears, and it goes in and out. And Dominguez with the rebound. She takes it down the court, but she's going to travel. Is it turnover?
Yep, turnover.
It is. Turnover number 2 for Lovington. 2-0 your score early on in this one. Texico leading. Texico with the ball. Emma Wallen over in the left corner. Texico going to pass it around the arc, back and forth. Trying to drive in. The ball's loose. Gets away. Texico saves it. Hakma over in the right corner. Good defensive pressure by Lovington. They do get it over to Tidenberg, and she drives in, Wallen. She drives in the lane and puts up a shot from the right, and that was Wallen with 2 points.
I think that was Hakma.
Was it Hakma okay. All right, so Hakma with the 2.
Pretty sure it was.
All right.
But a turnover the other way.
And turnover going the other way, that's right, and Dominguez has it, dribbles down, and they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a push foul, it looks like on number 25. That is Wallen. Is going to be her first foul. On the floor, Lovington with the ball. They inbound. Myra Castro's got it. Gets it into Dominguez. Dominguez dribbles in the lane, loses the handle on the ball, and goes out of bounds, and that's turnover number 3. Give the ball. Number 4, give the ball over to Texico. Inbound, no defensive pressure. We take it down the court. Brashears has got it, going to run the point. Dribble over the right, outside the arc. Go into the right corner. Getting worked on by Malaya Castro. Gets it to Wallen. Then they pass it over to the left corner. Take a shot, won't go, and that's number 3, Brashears, with the rebound and the ball. Texico working it around the arc on the outside. That's Posada, top of the arc, almost stolen away by Malaya Castro, and they get it to Brashears. She takes a 3-point shot, won't fall, and the rebound by Hakma. Now they drive in, pass in the lane, and the ball is batted away. It goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it's going to be a foul. They're going to call number 3, Kira Olivas, her first foul, and that's going to send Brashears to the line. Brashears has a rebound in the game, an attempted 3 that she didn't make, and she sinks this one. So she's got a point in the game. 2 for New, 2 for Hakma, 1 for Brashears now. 5-0 your score. Texico in the lead. Second one sinks. Nothing but net on that too. So 6-0 Texico. Lovington with the ball. Defensive pressure on the inbound. The Castros passing it. Oh, and then a bad pass heading for Buendia in the game for Lovington. And she can't quite get to it, stumbles, but the ball, last touch by Texico, goes out of bounds. Myra Castro inbounds to Malaya. Malaya crosses center court, right side, drives in toward the baseline, now passes it over to Buendia. Buendia goes in for a little layup and a nice little shot, a little hook shot. And 2 points for Buendia. Number 3, Brashears has it, takes it down the court for Texico, puts up a shot, won't fall, and a rebound by Myra Castro. It's her first. She passes it off to Olivas. Olivas to Buendia in the lane. Nice give and go off of it. That's an assist, though, and Buendia with 2 more points. But that was a beautiful pass.
And then she quickly picks up a foul on the inbound.
Right, and they're going to call that on Buendia. So Buendia with her first foul. 6-4, though. Texico leading. Tipped away by Malaya Castro. The ball's on the court. Fight for it between Dominguez and Wallen. And they're going to call the foul, the jump ball. They're going to call the jump ball, and they're going to say possession arrow is for Lovington. So Myra Castro will inbound at center court. Gives it to Malaya. Malaya crosses the timeline right side. Passes to Dominguez, top of the arc. Dominguez drives in right side. And then bounce passes it back out to Malaya Castro. Puts up a shot, an air ball. Buendia with her rebound. Then passes it to Myra Castro. Myra drives in to take a shot. She's going to get fouled on the way up. And let's see. I think they're going to call that on Posada, but let's see who they... Yep, number two, Posada. First foul on her. It was in the act of shooting, so Myra will go to the line, her first trip to the line. 6-4, Texico leading in this one. 3:55 left to play in this first quarter. Myra eyes it, skies it, and too hard. Banks it off the back. So a miss for her, but she'll have another chance at it. Second one on the way, and also off to the right. So 2 misses at the line for Castro, but fight for the ball on the inbound. It's going to get knocked away, and I think it's going to stay Texico ball. But good hustle by Buendia. She was right there putting pressure on, defensive pressure on. Texico inbounds, gets it Posada. Posada off to Brashears. Brashears works over to the left, back to Posada, the left wing, back to Brashears. Passes it off to Hockman on the right, then into Brashears underneath the basket. And stolen away. Second turnover by Texico. And Cara Olivas with a nice steal. She brings it down the court, loses the handle on it, goes out of bounds, but it's going to be off of Texico. So Lovington will maintain possession. Castro is going to inbound right underneath the Lovington basket, hands it off to Buendia. Buendia puts a nice little right-handed hook on it. It doesn't go, but she draws a foul, and they're going to say that is, of course, it's going to be a shooting foul. It'll send Buendia to the line. It's on number 21, Kaya New. That's her first foul.
Free throws incredibly important. That was the difference in the JV game. Lovington's girls have had some problems from the line.
Oh, and Buendia's first one is up and no good. She's got 4 points in the game, 2 buckets, but she will have a second chance here at the almost through one complete quarter, first quarter of this game here at Texico. Lovington leading right now after a slow start, but they chipped away at it, came back, and now have the 2-point lead. A lot of fouling so far in this game, but even despite that, it seems like it's going fairly quickly. Of course, the pace that girls' JV game was before it just makes this seem like that it's blazing fast, and it's really not. Out of the timeout, 2 minutes, 7 seconds left to play in this first quarter. And Lovington with a 2-point lead. Texico inbounds in front of the home stands. Gets it across the timeline. Holman in the game now. Passes off to Brashears. Brashears getting worked on by Myra Castro. Back to Holman. Holman gets it over to New. New passes it off to Ortiz. A pass from the left corner toward the basket across the baseline is going to be a bad pass as 24, Teidenberg, trying to get a handle on that, but it goes out of bounds. So another turnover by Texico. Nope, they're going to say it went off of Lovington.
They initially signaled it was Lovington ball.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Texico inbounds. driving into the left side. Brashear is into the lane, and they're going to call a whistle. They're going to call a foul, that is. A whistle sounds. And they are going to get, it's going to be on the floor. It's not going to be a shooting foul. And they're going to get number 30, Erlyn Salcido, her first foul. Texico inbounds. It's Holman with the ball, almost loses it, pulls it up. Get it to Brashears. Good defense by Lovington. There's a three-point shot attempt by Holman. Left side won't fall. And Dominguez with another rebound, her third in this game. She pulls up outside the arc. Oh, and Myra Castro loses the ball. Fifth turnover by Lovington. And driving down was Holman, going to try to take it coast to coast.
Good play there by Chloe Corral to hustle back and knock that away to keep it from being a breakaway layup.
And Chloe is very good. She usually is she's quick, and she's good on a tight defense. She knocks a lot of balls away. Inbound, trouble with it, and it's stolen away. So that is turnover number 3 by Texico. And good work by Buendia. Again, a nice steal for her. She brings it down, has trouble hanging on to it, though. Getting a tight defense on her by New. And a whistle sounds, and they're going to call New with a foul. It's on the floor.
And so Lovington in the bonus will be on the next foul.
And Lovington will have the ball. It's going to be Chloe Corral inbounding just to underneath the Lovington basket, just to the right of it. 8-6, still your score. They get it into Buendia. Buendia pulls back near midcourt on the left side. Setting some offense. Now dribbles right, bad pass right into the lane towards Salcido, and turnover number 6 by Lovington. And taking that down all the way is Brashears, and they're going to call, I think that was 30, Erlyn Salcido, ran her down from behind, and the ball goes out of bounds. Let's see. I'm not sure that they're actually going to call it. Yep, they are going to call the foul against Erlyn Salcido. That's her second. It's on the floor, though, and it's Brashears inbounding just to the right of the Texico bucket. Oh, and a nice steal as Dominguez takes that away. Turnover number 4 by Texico. They get it down to Buendia. Buendia brings it all the way down, right side, outside the arc. Getting worked on by Ortiz. Tries a pass, and again another. I don't know if it's a bad pass or just not ready for it. Salcido was not ready for it, and taken away all the way down. Brashears lays it up from the right side and ties this one up with 18 seconds left in the first quarter. And a pass down as it was Chloe Corral trying to get the ball across the timeline, and she just tripped. She just lost her footing. So no foul. But it does give the ball, and it is a turnover. It gives the ball over to Texico. They inbound in front of their bench. Give it to Brashears. Brashears worked on by Corral. Drives in right side. Runs out of room. Pulls back. Gives it to Hockma. Hockma drives in under the lane, and she's going to get fouled. I think they're going to call Bell on that. Let's see. Yep, 42, Bell with her first foul. 8-8, all tied up in this first quarter. Just 3 seconds left to play. But at the line is Hockma. She puts it up and in, so she's got 3 points. She'll have another try. She had a basket earlier and a rebound. Makes it 9-8. Second one is up, and that one is going to fall in. It bounced up and goes in. 4 points for her in the game, makes it 10-8. Texaco leading, and at the buzzer, this first is over. First quarter, and your score is 10-8. Texico leading. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the second quarter as you're listening and watching Lovington Girls Basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Texico as Lovington girls basketball on Lovington Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Start of the second quarter, 10-8, Texico leading. Texico inbounds at midcourt. They're going to pass around the arc, the pace a little bit quicker right now. You can see Brashears tries the three-point shot from the left corner, won't fall, gets her own rebound, and then passes it off to New. New takes a shot, a fight for the rebound underneath the basket on the left side, and the whistle sounds.
Katie Bell doing a nice job getting the rebound, but then immediately got tied up by Wallen underneath.
So tie ball, possession arrow goes to Lovington. Castro inbounds. That's Myra. Myra taking it down, gives it to Katie Bell. Katie, tries a pass to Corral, and it's taken away by Hockma. So 9th turnover for Lovington. They've really got to take care of the ball better. They give it to Brashears. She drives across the lane, passes it over to Wallen, puts up a shot, won't fall. Fight for the rebound, and it's Malaya Castro with it. The Castro whistle sounds, and I think they're going to call New with a foul. Let's see.
No, they're just
going to say out of bounds. So Myra Castro inbounds, gives it to Chloe Corral. No, to Ashlyn Barunda in the game for the first time. She leaves it off for Malaya Castro, barely makes the 5-second call. Passes it over to Castro. Myra steps across the baseline. That is turnover number 10. Lovington has got to do a better job taking care of the ball.
Averaging over 30 a game, and that's something that Coach Wade Scott's definitely got to work on his girls with.
Texico with the ball. That's Posada driving down left side. Gives it to New. Good defensive pressure by Corral. We talked about how quick she is. Yeah, they give it to Hockma, and Corral trying to get the ball away, and they do manage to get it. I think Katie Bell actually ended up having that steal. They give it to Corral. Corral drives in, and she loses the handle of the ball and goes out of bounds.
Getting pressured by Wallen coming down the court, and really, I think if she would have started her shooting motion about 3 steps sooner,
then she
could